So what is up, everyone? Today is Thursday, January 8th. I will be trading the Nasdaq like I always do. So I am coming into this session with a bullish bias. I'm hoping we don't spike up at market open because I want us to leave behind these data highs up here. So I mean, starting from the daily, right? You can see we've traded back into this daily fair value gap right here. We're currently respecting it. We've also been moving in like bullish order flow, right? Like on the higher time frame, in the 4-hour, right? We broke above this high. We're almost retesting it. And I know we did break below this low right here, but I'm kind of viewing that as like a liquidity sweep, if you know what I mean. But we did just take out these equal lows I was eyeing. So like right now, I'm looking to see a reaction at some like one of these lows. Maybe we could even take out this like prominent low down here. I don't even know what this is from. Some random low. So like the thing is, I mean, if we just keep dumping and we show no reaction at any point, I can't be bullish forever. But right now, I'd say I'm definitely leaning bullish. Ace Tig says, "What's up, Tim? What's up, bro? How are you?" So we're about to open up this 1 minute. I know it's like ridiculously close to market open. Nah, there's going to be an SMT at the high. I can't take that. No, I can't take that. Keisha KV says, "Good morning." Good morning, Keisha. How are you? So the reason though I don't want to like consider an inverse off of this, honestly, is just because like this high up here, ES already took that high. Good morning, Samuel. How are you, bro? Jay everywhere says, "What's up, Tim?" What's up, Jay? How are you, bro? So at this current moment in time, it looks like we pulled into this 1 minute gap and we're respecting it. So I guess we're starting to get a reaction off this low now. A little bit. And like, so I always pay attention, like what's the highest time frame fair value gap in the current price leg. So like as of right now, the highest time frame gap is this 2 minute, but no, we're still dumping now. I lied. So it's possible. Maybe we want to come and sweep out like London lows, but I gotta let more price action play out to be confident in anything, though, to be honest. I think it's kind of fun. I feel like yesterday, ES was dropping and it pulled down NQ, and today the opposite's happening. Like NQ is dropping, it's pulling down ES. But one thing I do like, though, we're leaving behind this data high up here. You see I have marked out. So like in case you guys don't know what a data high is, I tell you these all the time, but essentially like when we have a high impact news release. So today at 8:30, there was unemployment claims. So when the unemployment claims released, we left behind a wick at 8:30, and it hasn't been swept on NQ or ES. So if we do resume like bullish order flow, that's gonna be a great target. Barnacle says, "Good morning, man." Good morning, Barnacle. How are you, bro? You said, so if ES already took a high, we can't target it in NQ. You could target it, but in my opinion, I view it as like lower probability, if that makes sense. Like if neither of them have swept the high you want to target, it's like higher rated. But if you're still really confident in it and ES takes it, you could take it. But I wonder, are we gonna form a 30-second here? No, I can't take this. They're 2-minute. No, there's not too many gaps I can really take an inverse off of here. You said I'm definitely feeling bearish today. We're respecting the 1 hour FVG. Feels like we've already reached high of the week. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I feel like if we don't take out London low and start reacting off that, I'm probably gonna be bearish. Cause I feel like these lows down here, like London lows and these lows right by, like the last area we could really sweep and remain bullish. He said, can you go over your bias again? Yeah, sure. So starting on the daily, one of the things I was eyeing, I feel like closer to market open, at least at that point in time, we were respecting this daily fair value gap a little more. Like honestly, if we start trading down through this daily fair value gap, I'm not sure it's going to hold as much. But at market open, we were kind of respecting it. And I was saying I could potentially see us like sweeping out this low and reacting off of it somewhere. Because like on the 4 hour, for example, like we're following market structure, right? Like we had this move down and we broke above this high. So we did shift structure. I mean, you can also argue that we shifted structure here, but I'm kind of viewing this as a sweep, feeling like an internal sweep. But the thing is though, I feel like if we start breaking through London lows and continuing lower, I can't really be confident this is a sweep anymore. You know what I mean? Like if this were truly a sweep, we kind of break below it and start reacting up. But like the thing is though, like I think like someone said before, like after we swept these lows, at this point we've tapped into this 4 hour gap, and there's also, I'm sure there's a 1 hour gap up here. And at this moment in time, we're kind of respecting it and moving down. Vizid said, "What's up, Tim? What's up, Vizid? How are you, bro?" Yeah, honestly, I honestly want to say I'm leaning a little more bearish, honestly, now. You said all good, bro. Took a dub on gold during London. Sounds cool, bro. I'm happy for you. So we've just taken out London lows. One thing I'm eyeing is, I don't know if you guys know like my retracement model too well, but when there's like unfilled gaps, sometimes I like to target them. I don't know. I need like clear lower time frame structure. Like let's say if we start reacting off London lows and we invert the highest time frame gap separating us from this unfilled 5-minute, I might try a long off that. But we'll see. And I really don't like the 30-second for this trade, yeah. Because the thing is, for the 30-second, the break-even point's just so scuffed. Like, if I were to take this 30-second, I'd have to enter up here and go break even in, like... It's like 10 points, but I still don't like it. You said AMD says long, but open low-key dumped. Yeah, honestly, like, when I first sat down here, I said I was bullish. But the thing is, honestly, like, if we're not going to sweep out London lows and start reacting off of it, like, I'm not too confident in longs anymore. Like, unless maybe we start reacting up like really soon off these lows, but like this is like last line defense for me to be bullish, honestly. I low-key want us to open up this 2-minute gap so I can try and inverse off of it, but you said, how do you know that one was London low? So, I mean, you could like just manually do it and like remember the times. But I use an indicator. Not this one. I use this indicator. So, it just marks out like I mean, you can take a screenshot of this or like I mean, I can show you guys again at the end, but essentially like this is Asia session from 20 until midnight. So that's like what 8 p.m. until midnight, I want to say Eastern Standard Time. But this right here is like I want to say UTC or no, it's UTC -5. Yeah, it's New York time. But I was just looking at something. But yeah, I mean, so essentially though, London is between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, that's so annoying. We filled in that 2-minute gap. You said type sessions on TradingView. Oh yeah, I probably should have said though, the indicator itself, this is the one I use. I mean, trust me, there's a million session indicators. I wouldn't say one's necessarily better than the other, but the one I use is called ICT Kill Zones and Pivots TFO. But that's low-key. I honestly wanted us to open up a 2-minute so I could take an inverse and go break even at the unfilled 5-minute. You said, yeah, I use that as well. It's pretty goated, honestly. I really want us to open up a bearish gap on any time frame higher than the 30-second. And then I want to try and inverse off of it, honestly. Like, I know we're moving pretty bearish right now, but the thing I'm thinking about is that we just took out London lows. We just took out these prominent lows like next to London lows. I feel like we might be due for at least like some retracement, at least to this unfilled 5-minute gap up here. That's just like the way I view the market, because like the market moves like from liquidity to imbalances, right? So it's like we've moved to liquidity and now we need to retrace to an imbalance to continue in the intended direction, right? So I'm hoping we can open up this 1 minute. I mean, I understand it's kind of counter trend, but said, holy crap, Tim, what a move. I mean, yeah, it dumped. The thing is though, I'm looking for a V shape back up. Like, I wouldn't blindly take longs right now, but like, let's say if we get a reaction back up and we start closing up here, like only at that point would I kind of start looking for a long. He said, if we open up this current 15-minute gap, I'll wait for 10 a.m. open to manipulate into it. Not a bad idea whatsoever. Barnacle says, goated trade, not going to lie. I appreciate that, Barnacle. I mean, I still need confirmation first, but... And on top of that, though, I can name multiple bullish draws I like. Like, we have... I'm not saying we're going to hit all these, but like, let's say if we shift order flow bullish, like there's data highs up here. There's this 930 high up here. There's an unfilled 5-minute gap up here. But yeah, you said the 1 minute bearish gap opened up. Yeah. We're still just dumping though. It's possible we might end up opening in this 2-minute. So like if this 2-minute opens up, I got to pay attention to that one because it's like the highest time frame gap in the leg. Yeah, honestly, I was wondering why it's so bearish. You know, the other day though, you remember that dump? Yeah, but I feel like some of these candles are moving so weird though. Like if you see, This is the 2:22 a.m. candle in New York time. Like, what happened at 2:22 a.m.? And then, like, we have, what is this? This is the 6:32 candle. Like, why at 6:32 a.m. are we wicking down like this? You said this might be Jerome Powell's last year. I mean, I know Trump's been saying he wants to get Jerome Powell out for like what feels like forever. You said we're now in a 4-hour order block? Yeah, honestly, we're dumping. And at this point, we might just open up another like unfilled 5-minute gap. So I really might not get an entry on the thing I'm looking for, honestly. I mean, it's a little too early to say that yet, but like, you said rough got edged, stop loss got hit to the point, then went to full TP. I'm sorry to hear that, Joey. That sucks. I'm sure you got your next trade, though. I was thinking about, like, when I get upset, like, it's definitely annoying, but I was thinking, like, I can't change the past. It's like, it's whatever. I can't really change it. Just do the best I can from now on. Definitely frustrating in the moment, though. So we're finally getting a reaction up. So I want to see if this 3-minute gap's going to open. There's also a 4-minute gap that might open. But the thing is, if we invert this 2-minute, the stop loss is actually, honestly, I'm not going to lie, my stop loss size on this is crazy. But if we close through this 2-minute gap, I'm honestly probably going to try a long. Yeah, honestly, if we can close this 2-minute, I'm going to try a long. My crazy size stop loss. You said I'm taking it if we get a close through. Honestly, me too. Because, like, I'm going to go break even at this unfilled 5-minute gap. So, like, even if you said stop loss could be crazy, though. Yeah, I was looking. It's like a 90-point stop. But, like, the thing is, though, so my logic behind this. Well, I got to focus. So, we got 10 seconds till the close. If we close through, I'm taking this. So that's not a close through. If the following candle closes through, I still will take this. But essentially, so I'll explain my logic in the meantime. So, like, we've just swept out. I don't know why I keep deleting my drawings. So we swept out London lows. I had them marked out before. Yeah, so London lows, or these lows right here. So we swept out London lows. We also swept out this prominent low right over here. We actually even swept out this low looking further left. I didn't even realize. So we swept out many lows. There's an unfilled 5-minute gap right up here. So the way I view the market is like we move from liquidity to imbalances, right? So like now we've just taken out significant higher time frame liquidity. If we invert the highest time frame gap separating us from the unfilled 5-minute gap, I think that unfilled 5-minute gap is a very clear like draw, right? Because like even though higher time frame we might be bearish and like we might continue bearish after this, at a bare minimum, like if we invert this gap, we definitely need to go to this unfilled 5-minute gap. It's just like a natural rebalance before price can continue. But so there's like 48 seconds until this candle closes. If this candle does close, I'm going to take a long position. I'm going to go break even at this unfilled 5-minute gap up here. I feel like ES is moving so much more bullish than NQ. Like if you look at ES, like ES is about to take out these highs all the way up here. It's like, how are you all the way up there? Definitely a leading pair. And I always just double check that like that's the highest time frame gap in this leg. Because like, so right now this 2-minute is definitely the highest time frame gap. You said the 2-minute closed on MNQ. I mean, even if it did close on MNQ, I pay attention to NQ because I always feel like NQ holds more weight. So we never got that close. Well, we have like 10 minutes until 10 a.m. So once 10 a.m. hits, though, we're actually going to open up this unfilled 15-minute gap. And honestly, once this 15-minute gap becomes present, I'll start targeting that instead of the unfilled 5-minute, to be honest. At least as like a break-even point. I mean, we are inside the 10 a.m. macro. I feel like not much is kind of going on right now, to be honest, but... We're just moving bearish, but... I think 10 a.m. open will make things a little more interesting for me. You said, are you in longs? Not yet. I'm considering taking longs if we close through this 2-minute fair value gap. I pretty much always show my executions on screen, though, when I'm actually in a trade. So we have a minute and 30 seconds until this candle closes. So, I mean, honestly, if this one decides it wants to jump up and close to this 2-minute, I mean, I'll still try this long. But I don't like how long it's taking to close through, but I'll still take it if it closes through. You said those 3 equal highs should get hit? You said on Project X it closed? Honestly, I mean, I do my charting based on NQ1. Like, whatever's the most recent futures contract on TradingView, I just go by that, honestly. Like, you said, why is your chart different from Project X? Honestly, is it possible you're on MNQ? Because I always just use NQ1, which is supposed to be like the most current futures contract. I mean, MT5 is not the right place to look, but... I'm gonna be nosy and check. I wonder if it, like, in theory, these prop firms should all get the exact same data feed. I see what you're saying, though. On Project X, it literally did close through. I actually don't have an answer as to why mine didn't close through, but it did on Project X. Because I thought is NQ1 not the most recent futures contract? I don't know, man. One of the reasons why I'm not the biggest fan. You said wick manipulation with Forex. Yeah, the thing is, I know like when someone said MT5, I was like, okay, like those firms have manipulation, but to my knowledge, there's no manipulation on Project X, so I don't get how that could be possible. But I mean, regardless, so if we close through this 2-minute gap, I'm gonna take this long. You said, oh, we want to move lower. I mean, it's just kind of chopping right now, to be honest. I wouldn't say it's even moving lower or higher. You said 10 a.m. will manipulate up, then move down. I could see that. You said, what's manipulation? So, I mean, typically, like, the way the market moves, I feel like when it's continuing in a trend, for it to continue in that direction, it kind of has to stop people out, if that makes sense. Like, imagine there's too many people on one side of the market. It kind of goes the opposite direction to kind of stop people out. If that makes sense. So, like, a manipulation is essentially a move in the wrong direction to stop out traders and, like, confuse them. I mean, we're probably going to open up this 15-minute gap, I bet. We have, like, what? 3.5 minutes till this unfilled 15-minute gap opens? She said, I'll take a manipulation into the bearish gap if we can get an IFVG. Yeah, I mean, essentially right now, I'm waiting for 10 a.m. to open up. So at 10 a.m., we're going to open up this unfilled 15-minute gap. Like, essentially, my game plan, once this unfilled 15-minute gap opens up, is if I can get a clear inversion, like, to the unfilled gap, right, I'll take that. And if I can't get a clear inversion to that gap, once we hit it, I'm going to look for shorts coming out of that gap. If that makes sense. So there's potential for this 1 minute IFVG here. I'm not sure if I want to take this. I got to think about this. I would prefer if I didn't have to hold this through 10 a.m. It's the macro though. I mean, I probably, if we close this gap, I might try this. Depends on how strong the close is, to be honest. No, I'm probably not going to take this just yet. So, I mean, at least I'd feel a little more comfortable taking this now, only because, like, technically the unfilled 15-minute gap has not opened up yet. So, I personally don't like taking those type of retracement trades if the gap hasn't opened up yet. But honestly, though, if we close through this 1 minute gap, I'll take it long. You said, do you think that live trading gives you more pressure? I mean, a small amount, but I'd say it's definitely bearable. I mean, I'd say, like, one of the reasons it doesn't affect me too much is I'm really confident in my model. And I feel like I've literally had points in time where I've had a chat full of people telling me I'm wrong, and I'm like, whatever, I don't really care. Like, I'm so confident in my strategy, it's whatever. So did you get your payout yet? So nah, I have not gotten my payout from Top Step yet. I still want to, I'm up like 2.5 on the 3 accounts. I want to get it to 3K. And I got break even on Wednesday, and I didn't trade Monday or Tuesday. So I pretty much still need like $500 for the payout. So I'm hoping that we can open up this 3-minute, honestly. I really wouldn't mind taking an inverse long off of this 3-minute if we can open it up and invert it quickly. I'd go break even at the unfilled 15 and just go for like a 1-to-1 because it's counter trend. But I still gotta wait 2 minutes for that gap to potentially open up. Oh, and also, guys in the YouTube, if you don't mind, hit that thumbs up button. It does help the stream. I do appreciate it. But I have like, what, 1 minute and 45 seconds until this gap's gonna open up. And the thing is, too, like, part of the reason, like, I know we're dumping really hard, and I feel like at this moment in time, I can admit, like, I feel like from an outside perspective, it might look a little stupid for me to be going for longs. It's like you're catching a falling knife. But at the same time, it's like since market open, like we haven't had any rebalance into like any 5 or 15 minute fair value gap. So like essentially, we're due for a rebalance. Like we've taken out London lows, we've taken out multiple higher time frame lows. Like at some point, we got to rebalance. I'm surprised the ES never took out that data high. Because, like, you guys remember before, I was talking about, like, I think trades are higher rated if neither one. Like, if ES took it out, I could say, okay, there's an SNT up there. But honestly, I feel like this might be something that might get swept. You said, I think that sweep was the knife. Now, I get what you're saying. Like, it already fell like a falling knife. Yeah, because, I mean, it could keep falling a little further, but, like, at some point, it's got to rebalance. So, I mean, I still gotta wait 3 minutes for this close, but if this candle wants to come up and close through this 3-minute gap, I'll take a long and I'll go break even at the unfilled 5-minute, 15-minute. Is it almost secured full TP off that downward move? I'd love to hear it, Jay. You said a lot of previous day looks like I want to take them out. I mean, it might, but honestly, I feel like we just need some form of rebalance. We're just dumping with no rebalance. I wonder if we're probably just going to open up this 5-minute. Which, if anything, I'd say this 5 minutes higher rated, honestly. Because I feel like 5-minute inversions are like usually pretty solid. You said going into this morning, I feel like we'd be bearish. I mean, you had a better idea than me. Honestly, I was a little bullish at the first start of the session. But I mean, you were definitely right. Are we not going to open up this 5-minute? No, we are. Okay, cool. So, honestly, if we close through this 5-minute without tapping into this unfilled 15-minute, I'll definitely try a long off this. Now, honestly, I'm not looking to take a continuation short right now. Like, I know we tapped into a 5-minute gap, but the thing is, though, there's this 15-minute gap above, and I feel like for us to continue down, like, even if we're going to continue down bearish, in my opinion, I feel like we got to rebalance this unfilled 15-minute gap, and then we can continue bearish. I hope I get a good entry, though. It's running straight up. Ugh. You said good plan, bro. Appreciate it, Aaron. And the thing is, like, let's say if this candle just keeps going straight up and it taps into this unfilled 15-minute, I can't be looking for longs, honestly. Because, like, we've already rebalanced this gap, and that was, like, the whole idea for my trade, right? Like, I was going to go break even when we hit that. So, like, I can't take a trade after we hit my break even point. And, you know, the funny thing is, though, honestly, even if we start dumping right now, I'm still not confident in shorts. Because, one, we never rebalanced the unfilled 15. And the other thing is, it's not like ES even took out this data high up here. Like, I've been talking about this all morning. Like, I really want to see at least ES take out this data high for me to take a short, but... yeah, so ES took out the data high at least. I mean, that does mean longs are like a little lower rated now. Like we took out one of the targets I was looking to see get hit. But I mean, I still would take this because I have like the unfilled 15 in mind, if you know what I mean. But I still gotta wait 2 minutes, and I need a good close for me to take this trade. I have a feeling I'm not getting an entry on this. Yeah, there's no entry on that. We hit the unfilled 15-minute gap. So no entry on that. Definitely the right idea. So at this point, honestly, I'm going back to being short. Because like now that we've rebalanced this 15-minute gap, like if we're going to continue bearish, like this would be the area we'd start reacting off of. So we're not getting that entry? Definitely not. So like I'm looking in the most current price leg, like what's the highest time frame fair value gap? Which at this moment in time is probably going to be the 4-minute. We might open up a 5-minute, but so one thing I like to mark out sometimes too is like, so if we mark out this whole 15-minute gap as a whole, sometimes I'll mark out like equilibrium of the gap. So like this right here is like 50% of this 15-minute gap. But it looks like we're having a little bit of a reaction out of it already. A little bit. He said, hello, brother. I was here a few days earlier asking about how to not crash out. You told me about daily loss limit. And since then, I've taken 1,500 on 5 accounts USD in payouts. Woohoo. I'm really happy to hear that. Congratulations, bro. Amazing stuff. You know, I call people all the bro all the time. I'm sorry if you're not a bro. No, you look like a bro by your profile picture. You know, the other night, though, I called someone bro, and she was like, I'm a girl. And I was like, my bad. I was like, I gotta stop doing that. He said, thanks, brother. It takes one day at a time is what I learned. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one trade at a time, one day at a time. Yeah, just, it's like with like anything in life. Just take it step by step. He said, yeah, I'm a bro. I did misgender someone today. I'm in the clear. He said, then you should have said, my bad, bro. Consistency is key in all areas of life. So the thing I'm mostly looking at right now is I'm assuming we're probably going to open up this 5-minute gap. So this 5-minute gap is going to be something I pay attention to a lot. Like, kind of the same idea where I was talking about a rebalance, right? So, like, if we can push up and then I can get an inversion where I can go break even at the point of us tapping into this unfilled 5-minute, I would like that. If I can't get that, I'm probably going to wait for a candle to close through this 5-minute gap. And then if that happens, I'll probably just market order a short. I'll probably just go for a 1-to-1. Honestly, I don't really see any... Like, there's a bunch of just stacked lows. I don't really know which one I'd look to target. But... see how it goes. You said earlier I was thinking like 300 per day for 5 days. I just do it every week and I'm good. But once I stopped changing money, it all changed. I just struggle with... Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's something a lot of people struggle with. Like, because like I say this all the time, like your brain, it loves to connect progress to like green numbers, positive numbers, right? But like with trading, that's not like a direct correlation, right? Like I could execute my plan perfectly, do every single thing right, and I could still lose money on the day. And like that's why your brain tells you it's like, oh, something's wrong here, and it tells you to overtrade. It tells you to like over leverage, revenge trade, right? So like it's kind of just something you get over in time. And that's another thing though, like you said you stopped chasing money. Like part of the reason, like when I started doing good at trading, it wasn't even because I was focused on the money. If anything, I was more focused on the process. Like, because I guess a great analogy is like people who are like professional basketball players, right? Like, do you think they sit at home thinking, how am I going to make money? Like, no, they don't think that. But they also make millions of dollars every year because they think like, how do I dribble a basketball properly? How do I make a 3-point shot, right? Like they focus on a skill that skill in turn brings them money. So it's not like the money itself is the focus. It's like becoming a skilled trader is the focus. That makes sense. But... you said, what kind of RR do you typically go for? So if I can't find a clear draw, I go for 1-to-1. If let's say there's something very clear at like a 1-to-1.5 or like a 1-to-1.2, I'll just go for the clear draw. But if I'm not really confident in anything, I just go for a 1-to-1. You said also they don't let their previous basketball throws affect their next throw. Yeah, that's something too. Your brain has something called like a recency bias. Like I talk about this all the time, but it's very important to understand in trading, right? So it's like I could go on a winning streak for 2 weeks, but if I take a loss, and that's the most recent thing, like in my mind, like my mind's like, oh, well, last Friday you lost $1,000. It's going to focus in on that, and it's going to kind of minimize the thing where it's like, oh, yeah, well, for the past 2 weeks, though, you've been on a hot streak, right? Like, and like another thing with that too, though, is sometimes people will say, okay, the last time I took this setup, like my stop loss was a little too tight, so I'm gonna give myself more breathing room. But it's like maybe that was like a one trade type of situation. If that makes sense. Like you can't like, what do they call it? Overfitting the curve or like overfitting or something. Essentially, like you can't take like the results from one specific trade and use it to change your model as a whole. You kind of need to like take the results of like a month, and then you can use that data to like draw conclusions from. So I'm not really seeing any like rebalance trades I can take this unfilled 5-minute so far. I mean, I'm looking, but and one thing I don't like is there's like this 1-minute gap over here that we never closed through. So I feel like I'd be more confident if it was like a gap above the 1 minute. But I don't think we're going to get that. Oh, and there's even this, we opened up an unfilled 4-minute, which I really don't like to see, to be honest. But maybe I could get a rebalance the unfilled 4-minute? Nah. At this point, I feel like the main thing I want to see at this point is I just want to see a close through this 5-minute. The stop loss would be crazy yet again, though. I just gotta let more price action play out, to be honest. He said, I'm gonna be honest, my trading system is very different from yours. It's refined down to an art and skill form. It's just my own brain of getting all part of the journey. I'm here for it. I mean, yeah, I always tell people, like, I feel like people come in here all the time and they're like, what exactly are you doing and stuff like that. He said, yo, Tim, there's a 30-second. I know there's a 30-second. I'm just not the biggest fan of it, honestly. But yeah, people ask me though, like, what my system is exactly. They're like, I want to copy your system, but I always tell people like what I did, at least for me, was like I found someone else's system that worked for them, and I kind of changed it a little bit to work for myself. Like, I mean, I still tested stuff to find it has like a statistical edge over time, but I kind of was like, oh, well, in certain situations, I want to play it slightly different than he does. You said, hey man, look at the 5-minute mark. I mean, yeah, there's a huge SNT where we took out like all these highs up here on ES, but NQ is taking out none of them. You said 30-second engulfing is a valid FVG. I mean, I'd be taking 30 seconds. I don't like this 30-second in specific. I'd be taking 30 seconds though. I take inversions on every time frame between like the 5-minute and the 30-second. You said there's a bigger discrepancy. I mean, I don't. I mean, it's the same highs I was talking about before. I mean, like these highs over here never got swept on NQ, but those same highs in ES got swept. But we still haven't taken out Asia highs on ES at least. Oh, I mean at the bottom you said? I mean, I guess you're probably talking about like these lows down here. But the thing is though, like there's an SMT at like both sides. Like there's an SMT here, but there's also like an SMT here. And I feel like sometimes when there's like an SMT, oh wait, no, the SMT is like over there, but there's essentially an SMT on both sides. And I feel like sometimes when there's an SMT on both sides, you don't really know which one to listen to. And since I'm a little more bearish, higher time frame, like I'll listen to the bearish one instead of the bullish one. So what about now? Like the 30-second, honestly, I don't like that 30-second either, because like there's multiple 30 seconds like here. And like I just don't think this price action is too clean. Like the main thing I'm waiting for right now is honestly, I'd prefer to see like a higher time frame gap. It's like not a 30-second open up. So I can take an inverse off that. You said PA messy for real. I mean, yeah, like maybe if PA was cleaner, I might want to try a 30-second like this. But like if we just view like this area, like right here, like this is all like a little bit of chop. I feel like inversions work better when we're not like chopping around. But you said any entry? Nah, I haven't found any entries so far today. And like, don't get me wrong, I feel like this 30-second like could work out. But I feel like the way that like I view setups, like a lot of times I think like if I take this setup and it loses, like will I look back on this trade and say, you know what, everything was there. That was a good trade. Or am I gonna say, you know what, there's stuff going against me. So wait, I really don't understand what you're looking for. I mean, essentially, like since I trade inverse fair value gaps, I'm waiting for us to like pull up a little bit, like form a bullish fair value gap, and then I want to see it come back down and close through it and like disrespect it. That makes sense. Because like I'm bearish higher time frame. He said, "Yo, what would be your first big purchase, or have you made it already?" I wouldn't say I made my first big purchase yet, honestly. I mean, I'm trying to think. You know, I made this list of things I want to buy when I get a 10K payout. I feel like it's just a bunch of random things I put on a list, though. Let me try to find it. I haven't looked at this list in so long. You know, I already bought some of this stuff. I wanted to buy a MacBook Air, but I already bought that. I already bought that wallet I wanted. I actually bought a lot of this stuff. To be honest, I really don't have any idea what I want to buy. Right now, I think the main thing I'm working toward though is just quitting my job, because I feel like material things are cool and all, but like getting my freedom back is something I really want to work toward. You said MacBook so stereotypical. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like I do love my MacBook, but there's some certain things that I don't like about it. Like I didn't know how hard it was to stream on a MacBook, because I guess like a lot of the streaming softwares are made primarily for Windows. If that makes sense. You said, where are you trading? I'm funded with both Alpha Futures and Top Step. I have 3 accounts at Alpha and I have 5 at Top Step. You said, are you going for a short off that unfilled 15-minute gap? I mean, right now, I'm hoping that we can open up like some bullish fair value gap when we push up. And then I want to get an inverse where I can go break even once we tap into this gap down here, this unfilled 5-minute gap. So I'm essentially pretty much looking for like a V shape where like we push up, push right back down, and then I go break even when we tap the unfilled gap. You said solid idea, bro. Appreciate it, Aaron. There's a chance I might be trying this 1 minute because honestly, I didn't like a bunch of those 30 seconds. But the 1 minute's not that bad, honestly. It's like a higher time frame gap. Okay, what's my stop loss gonna be? I might take this. A 23-point stop. Like 8 contracts. So honestly, if we close through this 1 minute gap, I'm gonna try this short to be honest. Only if we close through it though. I mean, it looks like we're respecting it right now. Oh, you said your music stopped, FYI? Thank you for letting me know. I still gotta fix that. Should be better now. I think I have an idea on how to fix that so it stops freezing, but I do appreciate you reminding me. You said, hi, I'm new here. How's your stream win rate? My win rate's like approximately 70%. Although I also trade like lower risk to reward. So, I mean, it's not like, I feel like some people say 70% win rate, and I feel like people have in their mind like, wow, you make crazy money. But like at 1-to-1, like I make money and all, but like, it's totally different than if I had like a 1-to-3 risk to reward. So if this candle closes where it is right now, I'm going to try this short. I'm going to put my stop loss up at that swing high where you guys see it, and I'm going to target this unfilled gap down here. But I would prefer to see like a stronger close, but let's see what we get. It's close enough. So I'll show my executions in just 1 second. I just want to put my stop loss in real quick. Wow, why is it going straight to my stop? I'm probably getting stopped out, aren't I? Yep, whatever. So I'm still going to try one more setup on the day. I mean, I guess there wasn't like a 2-minute gap here, right? Nah. It's whatever. I'm not too upset about that, honestly. And I like how I can see this thing coming right back down after the sweep. I got lucky though. I don't know how. I only lost like 285 bucks on that. To be honest though, if this immediately inverts this 30-second, I'm literally retrying this. Like if we immediately invert this, I'm literally retrying this. What did I do? So if we close to this 30-second, I'm going to retry this. I'm literally retrying this. I'll show my executions, because I never even did that last time. But let's go down to the 30-second. Did choppy PA, yeah. I would have preferred a stronger close here. Why is my stop loss not right? The only thing is, though, I feel like I could see that sweep of that high just being a manipulation, and we could still go down to that unfilled 5-minute, honestly. I gotta double check. Where even is this unfilled 5-minute? There's no way this unfilled 5 minutes that far away. This could be a high risk to reward trade. This is a 2-to-1. I don't want to jinx it. I don't think I've ever hit a 2-to-1 on stream. And the thing is too, if this trade hits, I can actually get my payout. I mean, I can't start getting too excited just yet, but the thing I'm looking at though is there's all these stacked lows down here. I feel like once we start running them, we could kind of just keep dumping that unfilled 5 minute. But so hopefully we respect this 30-second gap we just tapped into. And so, like, I mean, even if this trade does lose, though, like, honestly, like, both these setups, like, I'm not going to look back on them and be like, damn. Like, I will admit price action is a little choppy right now. I will admit that. But overall, like, higher time frame, we're moving bearish. We tapped into a 15-minute 15-minute gap. Like, we have an unfilled gap below, like... I mean, if it fails, I'll just stop for the day. Just call it. I mean, like, if this thing fails, I'll just say price action is not it today. And I'll just limit my losses for the day. I might be cooked here. Let's see. Down, Nasdaq down. Down, Nasdaq down. Down, Nasdaq down. Ugh. I mean, at this point, there's nothing else to do except sit here and wait. I mean, it's either going to hit my stop loss or it's going to hit my take profit. And since I'm targeting an unfilled gap, on setups like this, I typically don't go break even, honestly. Because I view, like, the unfilled gap is the strong draw. And I usually like going break even when we hit a strong draw. But it's like, if it's not hit yet, there's no reason to go break even. And I guess, well, wait, if I lost 290 and I make 830, I'm gonna be just shy of the amount. You said you gotta blow on your screen to lower it. You right, bro. Ooh, be nice to me, Nasdaq. Treat me right, Nasdaq. This is over a 2-to-1. I'm glad I have some calming music playing. I'm low-key... Part of the reason I'm stressed right now, though, is because if this hits, I get a payout. And I low-key need that. I literally low-key need that payout, but... I just want to double-check. When we hit the unfilled 4-minute... It's an unfilled 5-minute, though. I'll hold. So I want to say there's an unfilled 4-minute gap we just tapped into. No, we haven't even hit the unfilled 4-minute yet. To be completely honest, I might just sell when we hit this unfilled 4-minute, to be completely honest. I'll go for the 5-minute, I lied. Just because I think we're so bearish, I don't see why we'd hit the 4-minute, not the 5. It's honestly just my emotions getting to me. So if we start wicking up, I'm gonna full close, honestly. If we wick up right now, I'm gonna full close. I'm honestly gonna trail my stop up here. No, I shouldn't do that. I'm being emotional. What am I doing? Nah, I'm just getting emotional because of the payout. I gotta wait for it to hit, and that's exactly what I gotta do. Because this thing's gonna hit. I gotta stop being emotional. Bang. Just hit a win on live stream. I did take one loss before this, but I'm up $531 on my 5 Top Step Express funded accounts. I'm actually up enough on 3 of these accounts so that I can now take a payout. See, I'm up $3,000 on 3 of these funded accounts. So I'm going to request a 3K payout after stream. I took literally every single trade to get this payout and to pass these evals all on live stream. So I'm finally going to request a payout for my hard work. I did it on live stream. I got like 30 people watching me when I hit this. And we traded back into this unfilled 15-minute gap. And then I took an inverse on the 30-second targeting this unfilled 5-minute gap. Totally W day. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking sweating. To be completely honest, one thing that I shouldn't have done, I'm low-key not too proud of. I feel like last second I was considering, I'm trailing my stop, I'm doing this. Like, I was tempted for a second there to get out of plan, but I followed my plan, it's all that matters. So, I'm gonna give you guys a recap of everything that went through my mind, like why I took all these trades. But in case you guys can't see up here, I'm up $531 across 5 Top Step Express funded accounts. So I'm essentially up like 2,500. And it's possible I caught high of day. Like, I literally could see this thing dump for the rest of the day. But I do appreciate everyone in the chat. You said get that payout. Let's go, Tim. I appreciate you guys. You said let's go. You said awesome to see those emotions in real time, human psychology and finest. Yeah, because like honestly, like I feel like part of the goals of these lives is I like to show you guys my process in real time. And like I'm a person like you guys. It's not like I act like 100% right like every single day, right? Like, and the thing is too, like, because I'm so close to that payout, that is the #1 time when your emotions start messing with you. You said I made 300 thanks to you. I'm really happy to hear that. But so essentially what happened today, right? So honestly, when I first sat down with these charts, right, I'll clear all my drawings, right? So I actually said I had a bullish bias. So why did I say that sitting down, right? So on the daily time frame, right, we opened up this daily fair value gap right here, right? So at the time of when I sat down, we actually were respecting this gap. Like we came down into it, we were coming back out of it, right? On the 4-hour, right? So when we're looking at market structure, you said, let's go, made 800. Really happy to hear that. Congratulations. And so we pushed down, right? So this was the most current price leg, and we broke above this high. So on the 4-hour, we had a shift in market structure where we're moving bullish, right? You can see we're putting in higher highs, higher lows. And even though we came down and we took out this low right here, I was viewing that as a sweep. Like I'm saying, we're going to continue in bullish structure. We're just going to sweep out this low, which is this daily fair value gap, and we're going to continue higher, right? That was my view. I also saw that at 9:30 market open, right? We left behind, I call these data highs. Like there's data highs and data lows I always look at, right? So where's this other data high? Oh, it's over here. So essentially, we had high impact news come out at 8:30, right? We had the unemployment claim. So I always say the wicks left behind by the 1-minute candle when there's high impact news coming out, right? That's a strong draw on liquidity. There's a lot of traders that place their stop losses there, so the market's going to draw to there, right? So neither NQ or ES at market open had taken out this data high. So like you heard me all morning saying I'm bullish, I want to see this data high get taken. And even when we started showing a bunch of bearish structure, I even said, like if you go back in the recording, I said I want to see at least ES or NQ take out the data high, right? Because I was talking about, like someone asked me, when you target data highs, like if one of them takes it out, do you stop targeting it? Like to a point, yes. Like if let's say we're in extremely like bullish or bearish order flow moving toward that data high and one of them takes it first, like I might still target it. But I feel like it's a lot higher probability it's going to hit when neither of them have taken it out, right? So we pretty much moved bearish. It was pretty obvious, right? We're moving bearish at this point. Like we have this huge dump. This is no longer a higher time frame sweep. Like my original idea when I said on the 4 hour, right, we're sweeping out these lows. Like once candles are closing really strongly, like once 10 a.m. closes like this, right? Or well, I'm sorry, the 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. candle, right? So when this candle closes, this is such a strong close. I'm not trying to fade this higher time frame, right? Like at this point, it's very obvious we're bearish, right? So the main thing I'm looking at now is on the 15-minute chart, right? We opened up this 15-minute fair value gap. And then at first, honestly, I was looking for longs into this 15-minute gap. I couldn't get any longs into the gap, but I did say what my plan is once we tap into the gap. From there, I'm looking to take a short out of the gap, right? So like I was eyeing this 5-minute gap down here. Like I literally was saying, if we close through this, I'll take a long, but it pretty much just rocketed to that 15-minute gap. So price got pretty choppy up here, right? Like I will admit, this is pretty chop, right? So the first trade that I took that actually I got stopped out on, I got very lucky though. I literally accidentally undersized. So like, I mean, in my defense, that did save me. But, oh no, it was a 1-minute gap actually I took, right? I gotta look at my executions to remind myself, I'm sorry. I took this short at 10:28. Oh, that's exactly what it was, yeah. So we opened up this 1-minute gap. Because sometimes I view, like, in choppy conditions, I always say, like, 30-second fair value gaps, like, can't be trusted sometimes. Because, I feel like once you go below the 1-minute chart, there can be, like, a lot of noise, right? There can be a lot of unnecessary things that mean nothing. So, I noticed we opened up this 1-minute gap. I was like, okay, a 1-minute gap. Like, I'll try a short, right? We're essentially rejecting a higher time frame bearish 15-minute gap. We're disrespecting a lower time frame 1-minute gap. And we also have an unfilled 5-minute gap down here, which I always say unfilled gaps are strong draws, right? So, I tried that 1 minute. It pretty much immediately stop rated me. The number one thing that I'm proud of for today, right? The number one thing I can walk away from today and say I handled this amazing was when you guys saw me get stopped out. I literally shrugged my shoulders and I was like, you know what? It's whatever. I had a good idea, right? Like there were no emotions that were affecting me at that point because that's something that holds traders back a lot, right? Like they have the right bias, they get swept out and their mind goes completely derailed, right? Like no, like I said, you know what? Every condition I was looking for was there. It's whatever, right? Like, so because I had my clear mind and only because I had my clear mind, right? I saw we swept out my stop loss. We immediately reacted back down. We gave me a perfect candle closure, right? Because I always talk about the inversions where we like, when we create a gap and immediately close through it, those are the highest rated setups, right? Like it's almost like a V-shaped recovery, right? Now, I think this setup right here is a lot higher rated. Another way that I think this setup is good is we have all these stacked lows down here, right? Like all of these stacked lows are a strong draw because I view like once we start running stacked lows or stacked highs, either or though, but once we start running them, it's almost like a domino effect, right? It's like low resistance liquidity, right? So like, just think about it. Like a lot of retail traders, like they use trend lines. They think, oh, it's going to react here. So they all get murked, right? Or they'll get destroyed, right? So, so essentially I took the same setup, right? And the reason I was confident to take the same setup again too is because like my bias higher time frame never changed. Like just because that setup stopped me out doesn't mean anything higher time frame changed. Like I still have a narrative. You said, to be honest, bro, I'm impressed with the fact you didn't move that stop. That was really good discipline. Yeah, that was impressive. I appreciate you guys. You said, bro, I would have been out as soon as it hit 500. You said you ain't lying. I would have been out at the same time. But yeah, and another thing is though too, right? So like after I lost that trade, I still kept my original higher time frame bias, right? Like Nothing had changed. I took this trade. The thing is, now I got to take a 2-to-1, and I held to my full take profit because the main idea behind this trade was I was very confident this unfilled 5-minute gap down here is getting hit, right? Like, so the thing is too, like, even if we're going to remain bullish, the way I view the market is because we've traded into a 15-minute, we're inverting these gaps, we should be like, coming back to this unfilled 5-minute. Because just the way I view the market, right? Like, this unfilled 5-minute gap down here is the first point at which we could reject, right? So once we're hitting points we potentially could reject from, I'm either going break even or I'm selling my full position. And essentially, like, the reason I went for my first ever 2-to-1 on stream today, though, like, I literally have never gone for a 2-to-1 in my whole streaming career of 3 months. Or, like, I've been streaming every day for a little over 3 months, right? Like, why did I choose to go for a 2-to-1? Because the draw is so obvious, right? Like, I said there's an unfilled 5-minute gap down here, and, like, there was no reason for me to sell at any point until we hit the area that I thought we were going to hit. But he said I was over here sweating like crazy watching it. I'm not even trading, blowing onto the screen and all. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, I sweat a little bit too. Like I sweat a little bit today too. But, like, the mindset I have, like, I'm sure you guys have heard me say this a million times, but, like, the mindset I have is I'm playing out a statistical edge, right? Like, I've tested my strategy over a long period of time. I know when certain conditions are present, when certain things happen. If I trade the way I always trade, my strategy offers me a statistical edge, and I'm ridiculously confident in that. So, like, honestly, like, even if this trade lost, like, I'm sure you guys remember, like, I'm not trying to, like, blow my own, like, I'm not trying to, like, just say how I'm so great, but I'm just, like, saying, use this as an example, right? Like, when this trade reversed all the way back up here, and I said I might get stopped out. If you rewind, at that moment in time, I still said, you know what? Both of these trades, like, if I look back on them, like, I'm still proud of these setups. Like, they follow all my rules. But, like, I was like, think, like, when I take a trade, if I go back and I review it, am I gonna look at that trade and think, damn, Tim, like, well, what was I gonna say? I'd be losing my train of thought. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Am I gonna look back and think, damn, Tim, like, you avoided taking this setup because you were scared, or are you gonna think, oh, damn, Tim, like, there were things going against you, but you ignored them? He said, stupid banks calling me, wasted my time. I'm glad you hit it. Yeah, I mean, full transparency, I got stopped out right before this, so I took one loss, I took one win, but this is actually the first time I hit a 2-to-1 on stream. But appreciate you, Vized. But that was pretty much my breakdown and everything that happened today. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes in case you guys have any questions. So we can definitely drop any questions you guys have down below. But if you guys are looking for a prop firm to trade with, my favorite prop firm is Alpha Futures. I do have a discount code, which is code TIMB272. It will get you 10% off all valuations at Alpha, or if they have some better discount going on. So definitely check out Alpha Futures. I recommend them a lot. Also, I have my free Discord. It should be in that pinned comment or my profile. So definitely join the free Discord. You guys are welcome to tag me at any time, ask me any questions. I can't guarantee I'll respond in, like, a timely fashion, but I do my best to respond to, like, everyone in there. But yeah, I mean, honestly, W day, I mean, you guys are going to see on my Instagram story, I'm going to request a 3K payout from Top Step. And that's going to be from, like, all the trades I've taken on live stream over the past 2 months. You said, bro, when did you catch a trade? I mean, essentially, I tried 2 trades. I mean, I just gave my full breakdown, but I'll give a quick summary for you. You said, what's your IG? So my Instagram is TimB272. I actually, in case you guys ever miss stream and wonder how I did, I post my results for my stream every day on my Instagram story. So my Instagram is just TimB272. I go by TimB272 pretty much everywhere. But honestly, I might post a payout in the Discord, to be honest. But, so Vized. So we came back into this 15-minute gap right here. The first idea that I tried was, I know this gap is really tiny. But there's this tiny 1-minute gap. We closed through it. I tried a short. I put my stop loss up at that swing high. I was targeting the unfilled 5-minute gap. I got stopped out, like, almost immediately. And then on the 30-second time frame, I saw that once we stopped me out, we pretty much immediately closed right back to this 30-second gap as soon as we like selected my stop loss. So I pretty much just took a short here. I saw there were all these stacked lows, like low resistance liquidity, and then there was an unfilled 5-minute gap down here. So I just wanted to target that. You said those gap sheets, bro, got Hawkeyes. I mean, yeah, honestly, if you have a hard time finding gaps, I actually use this one indicator called, it says FVG/IFVG. And in case sometimes I can't see gaps, when you turn it on, see, like, it'll mark out these gaps for you. So, like, see, it marks out bearish gaps in red, it marks out bullish gaps in green. But honestly, though, I'm not going to lie, I was so, like, zoomed in on these little gaps because I really, really, really wanted a short to that unfilled 5-minute gap. And we just weren't printing gaps. I was just determined to get a short, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I guess, so what time frame you on? So, I mean, the first setup, it was a 1-minute inversion. And the second setup that actually won, that was a 30-second inversion. And that was an unfilled 5-minute gap I targeted. I'd say I definitely sold at a good point, though. It would have came back to my break even. Yeah, but I guess, I mean, that's pretty much it for today. I pretty much don't have anything else to go over. But, I mean, I definitely appreciate every single one of you guys stopping by. You said, oh, don't take the 30-second. Yeah, the 30-second can be a lot, honestly. But I do appreciate every single one of you guys stopping by. I will be live again at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm live every day, Monday to Friday at 9:30. So come back if you guys enjoyed this. But I appreciate every single one of you guys that traded with me, hung out with me, asked any questions. I appreciate everyone that banked with me as well. But I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Peace out.